My name is Rosie Poirier. I am an underwater photographer, scuba instructor, and marine conservationist from Canada, and I am this year's North American Our World Underwater Scholar. This year, when I was awarded the North American Our World Underwater Scholarship, I thought deeply about what I wanted to focus my year on. From the moment I began learning about the oceans, I was learning about their rapid decline and the numerous problems facing our ocean ecosystems as a result of negative human interactions. From this came the realization that the work I wanted to do was to focus on solutions, to study the art of solutions, and to see how people and communities around the world were designing systems that prioritized and championed sustainable interactions with our ocean ecosystems. I narrowed down my search for solutions to 3 general topics: marine protected area management, fisheries management, and blue carbon with blue economies. With these topics, I would learn how best to tackle the challenges of a changing climate from an ocean perspective. As a result, my scholarship journey took me first to the west coast of Canada, where I spent my first 2 weeks on a commercial halibut fishing boat in northern British Columbia, learning about groundfish management aboard the Borealis 1, with Tiare Boys and her incredible fishing family. They taught me the importance of effective management, quotas, and monitoring in fisheries. In our 12 days at sea, they engaged me in all aspects of fishing, taught me about the methods used in groundfish management to reduce bycatch within the industry. They showed me how each fish was recorded, weighed, and then checked by a third-party organization when landed at the dock. They showed me in action how the use of individual transferable quotas in Canada was reducing the bycatch of the fishing industry. It gave me hope to see fisheries managed effectively and to spend time with those in the fisheries industry who were passionate about sustainable fishing. Later at the Moss Landing Marine Labs in California, I learned about how the scientists there were working on developing sustainable aquaculture techniques and were growing seaweeds in land-based tanks to support a sustainable seafood industry. Their efforts to shift the aquaculture industry to rely more on herbivorous fish would greatly reduce the environmental footprint of aquaculture fisheries. Each of their projects focused on addressing issues around food security, economic stability, and environmental challenges, with the implementation of innovative techniques. With them, I worked on seaweed growth, harvesting, and monitoring, setting up new tanks for future studies. Creative solutions I found again while in Cayman for freediving training with Kurt Crack and Performance Freediving International. I spent 2 weeks with his incredible team of freedivers, alongside Millie and Hannah, the 2 other scholars. We pushed our limits to breath hold longer and deeper than ever before. Amid static, dynamic, and line training with our freediving group, I had the opportunity to visit the Cayman Turtle Center, where they were able to successfully combine food harvesting and conservation. Sea turtle is an important component in Caymanian food, but as the islands faced challenges with sea turtle decline, Cayman was able to effectively eliminate wild harvest by farming green sea turtles locally and developing a successful hatchling release program that effectively increased sea turtle populations around their islands. With the Turtle Center, we had the opportunity to volunteer for a midnight hatchling release, participating in the safe release of 108 hatchlings to the ocean. As I continued to pursue my journey of learning, I realized the importance of skill building. An incredible number of people contributed meaningfully to my learning through courses, knowledge sharing, and training. This began with the 2 weeks of freediving training in Cayman, and later with 2 weeks at the International Training Headquarters in Stuart, Florida. Here I had my first opportunity to explore the world of technical diving with Brian Shreve, taking me through my Intro to Tech and Rebreather Discovery courses. Training at the headquarters came with the added perk of working with the executive team. While in Florida, I was able to join on a macro photography workshop with Reef Photo and Video, our generous camera gear sponsors. I spent my time with them mastering my strobes, macro lens, and capturing the personalities of the smallest creatures on the reefs. This workshop helped me build my macro photography skill set, just in time for my 2 weeks of underwater photography with the Atlantis image makers in the Philippines. With the image makers, I learned from a community of underwater creative professionals who were kind and encouraging and extremely generous with their knowledge. I saw beautiful and mesmerizing creatures that I had never seen before, doing my best to capture their unique characteristics through the lens of my camera. During that trip, I practiced my ability to tell stories with pictures, imagery, and video. My friend Lenny Rosenfeld, a professional underwater videographer and another member of the Image Makers trip, coached me through underwater video techniques and color grading. He helped me understand how to take consecutive shots to tell an effective story. Together, we created beautiful underwater imagery, sharing ideas and story inspiration throughout the trip. These skills were developed just in time as I prepared for my next 2 months of community conservation, MPA management, and storytelling in the Coral Triangle region. This learning began first in the Philippines, when I traveled to Secure to join the Coastal Conservation and Education Foundation to learn about their marine protected area management programs. There I spent the week visiting conservation sites, diving at marine protected areas, and recording the progress of management measures. We spent our time monitoring the state of the current marine protected areas and interviewing community members about their work and livelihoods and how they relate to the oceans. Through this, I had the opportunity to learn about the challenges these small island communities were facing in resource management with both plastic pollution and fisheries, and how CCEF worked to address these issues. Many of the community members we spoke to shared about the challenges their communities faced with plastics. Even within established marine protected areas, plastics were commonplace and beach cleanups were not enough to resolve the issue. Bigger solutions were needed. CCEF worked to address these issues through community management, engaging fisherfolk and stakeholders in management planning. Programs such as the ones CCEF offer are integral to supporting healthy and diverse ocean ecosystems for future generations to benefit from. After the Philippines, I traveled to Indonesia, where I was able to work with the initiatives of the Coral Triangle Center in Bali. With the Coral Triangle Center, I worked with them on community outreach exhibits and field monitoring. We spent a week on Nusa Penida Island, one of their marine protected area project sites, piloting a new monitoring program for reef health and conducting community surveys to analyze the use of the marine protected areas. We used transects and photo documentation with quadrats to record coral and fish abundance and biodiversity, contributing to a long-term data set that helps assess the effectiveness of the marine protected areas. We also worked on coral outplanting with the Reef Star method, a technique used to restore coral reefs in areas where the bottom substrate has been reduced to rubble. CTC works with the local island community on Nusa Penida to maintain the restoration sites, effectively engaging communities in conservation management. When not in the field, I spent the rest of my time at their office, where the Coral Triangle Center does an incredible job of combining arts, culture, and conservation in an engaging and innovative manner for the public to interact with. Learning from them was a great way to be introduced to conservation in Indonesia. After Bali, I made my way to the heart of the Coral Triangle, where I was lucky to spend 2 weeks of my time in Raja Ampat, a collection of 1,500 islands with 117 coastal villages, with a well-established network of marine protected areas. In Raja Ampat, I stayed on Arbruk Island, where I was invited by Gita Anastasia to dive and assist with her community programming. Gita is an inspiring leader in her community. She owns a dive shop with her husband Marcel and champions sustainable ecotourism and conservation stewardship for her island people. Her island is recognized for its ocean action, and the people of Arborek are active in the protection of their oceans. Gita organizes a women's community program in Raja Ampat called Mora, with the intention to provide opportunities for island women across Raja Ampat to train in ecotourism and conservation. The program is at its beginnings, and Gita asked me to help. I met her executive team of women, recorded their stories, and helped them plan a future workshop program for island women. They took me to one of the communities they work with where they deliver an educational program. We ran a marine ecosystem class for the village children, and I used my love for art to teach the kids simple marine life sketches to use for their t-shirt designs. The results reflected their unique artistic creativity. During my time in Raja Ampat, I learned so much from the Mora women, from their passion, their dedication to their homeland, and to raising the level of opportunity for other women to be leaders in their communities. I loved getting to see Raja Ampat through Geeta's eyes, as she shared her favorite dive spots with me. From manta rays to schooling jacks to sea turtles feeding on jellyfish, Raja Ampat showed us its beauty, and I dream of returning again. During the first 5 months of my scholarship year, I traveled to 5 different countries, worked with 5 different organizations, conducted over 50 dives, interacted with an incredible diversity of marine life, gained 3 new certifications, and spent countless hours in the field, learning from inspiring people around the world who are working to improve the state of our oceans. Certain themes continuously surface. Challenges around fisheries management, plastic pollution, and having access to the resources needed for developing effective community programming. As I enter into the second half of my scholarship year, I look forward to building the necessary tools for addressing these key issues through training and knowledge sharing. As I continue on this scholarship journey, I am excited for what awaits above and beneath the surface. I am incredibly thankful to all those who have supported this scholarship and my learning. Everywhere I go, I find friends of the Scholarship Society who generously share their time to invest in my learning and growth. To them, I am so incredibly grateful. I am especially grateful to Rolex, who has sponsored this scholarship since its beginning, allowing me to be here today. I look forward to sharing the rest of my scholarship with all of you. With gratitude, your 2022 North American Our World Underwater Scholar.